and cats and dogs. Dear Jew in the city, I'm not Orthodox, but I work at a fertility clinic, and many of our patients are Orthodox Jews. I'm always hearing them talk about mikvah, and I'm so curious about what it is, but I'm too embarrassed to ask anyone. So what is a mikvah exactly? Who goes to it and why? Thanks. Bernadette from Pasadena.
Bernadette, a mikvah literally means a gathering of waters. The first time mikvah is mentioned in the Torah is in Genesis, when God gathers the waters to form the seas. But any natural body of water is a mikvah in its most primal sense because it contains living waters, waters of divine source, which our tradition teaches have the power to purify.
But natural bodies of water lack privacy, don't always meet every requirement of Jewish law, and can even be dangerous. That's why most Jewish communities build man-made mikvahs, like this one.
Welcome to the mikvah, a destination for the married Jewish woman to pamper the soul, where a spiritual cleanse is only an immersion away.
Why must married Jewish women engage in a spiritual cleanse? One of the reasons given for this commandment is because in Judaism, life is the most holy thing there is, and every month inside a woman is the potential for new life. If a woman becomes pregnant and acquires new life, her spiritual status elevates. But if that life doesn't come about, the physical manifestation is her cycle, while the spiritual manifestation is a temporary lowered state of holiness, during which time she and her husband refrain from all physical contact with one another. But then when a woman immerses in a mikvah, 7 days after her cycle is completed, she attains an even higher level of holiness than she had before, and reunites with her husband in what most couples describe as a monthly honeymoon. Mikvahs all begin with waiting rooms. Sometimes there's a wait, sometimes you go right in. Women read, pray, and schmooze, but no one ever talks about who she saw at the mikvah the night of her immersion. Everything is kept very discreet. Shh. When a woman immerses in a mikvah, she is spiritually reborn and therefore must enter the water the same way she entered the world, with no clothing, jewelry, makeup, nail polish, or dirt under her nails. So before a woman dunks, she prepares herself in a room like this. Hachana, pre-mikvah preparation, always begins with a long hot bath, which is followed by a shower and a careful grooming of every part of her body, until she can stand before God, letting nothing come between her and the Almighty. When her preparations are complete, and she's dressed in the robe and slippers provided by the mikvah, she calls for the attendant, who examines her hands, feet, and upper back to make sure everything's clean. It's important to note that the immersion is always done one at a time, and as the woman walks in and out of the water, the attendant stands behind her robe, ensuring that the immersion remains a modest experience. We're almost ready to see where the immersion takes place, but first, we must go behind the scenes. As we said, mikvah waters are living waters, which come from natural sources. So in most man-made mikvahs, rainwater is collected in a reservoir like this one, known as a bore, and is connected to the pool of water in which we immerse by at least one hole 2 inches in diameter. By having the waters from these 2 pools constantly touching, the sanctity of the living waters are conferred upon the immersion waters. We have finally reached the immersion mikvah, which must contain at least 198 gallons of water, the minimum amount needed in order to immerse comfortably according to our sages. The water is heated, purified, and regularly changed. The woman descends into the mikvah and immerses herself completely, 3 times, recites a blessing, and then a personal prayer. This is her time to be alone with God, surrounded by some manifestation of the Almighty, even as she stands there in her most vulnerable state. And in terms of who goes to the mikvah, well, I do.
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 I do. The Hebrew language teaches that mikvah is connected to tikva, which means hope. Why does mikvah represent hope? Because life has a way of getting off track. Relationships with friends, family, spouse, even God all suffer from time to time. Through mikvah we learn that there's always an opportunity for a fresh start, that there's always a chance for a new beginning. Sincerely yours, Jew in the City. You're still here? Good. I kind of forgot to thank our sponsor, mikvahcalendar.com, a site I personally use to calculate and keep track of my mikvah dates. Check it out.